We are joined here tonight by many families and friends of those who lost a loved one in the last year, those whose loved ones were also buried here at St. Julie's. And we're also, of course, gathered here because it is All Souls Day. It is the day that we all remember and pray for all of those who have gone before us. And perhaps all of us have been touched by death. And especially for those families who, again, experienced death within the last year. You may have heard me share this message, but if you haven't, then it still stands to be shared. One of the messages that I've oftentimes used in my years as a priest on occasions of funerals and wake services is how God will deal with the pain. Because many times, almost always, there is a unique pain when we have to deal with the loss of a loved one. And again, for those of you who have lost someone within the last year, you know very well, because in that first year is a lot more pain than anything else, because you have the firsts of everything, the first holiday without your loved one, their first birthday without them, their first everything without that person. And so for those left behind, there is a unique pain, because we are left with emptiness, we are left with loneliness at times, and we are left with that profound sense of loss. And in those moments, a lot of times we pray, Lord, take this pain away. But the truth is, God does not take that pain away. And again, for those of you who may have heard that message from me during this last year, you know very well why. But that message for myself came very true 21 years ago today, this very day. 21 years ago today, my own father passed away. And again, even though it's been 21 years, I can tell you that that pain is still there. To this day, it is still very, very painful to remember that day, that morning, when my sister called me and told me, get to the nursing home quick. And to think about when I got to the nursing home, and she was right outside his room, and all she said was, he's gone. And it still pains me to this day to think of how the flood of pain and sorrow and emotion just rushed inside me, and all I could find myself doing was crying in my sister's arms. And then having to go to our house, tell my mother that her husband, my father, passed away, and bring her to him. And then also the pain when remembering as the casket was being closed and realizing that's it. That's the last moment that I would see him. That's the last moment that I would see his face. It's still pain. It's still pain to remember the regrets, to remember the many mistakes that we have made with our loved ones, the many mistakes that I made with my own father, and also the times that I remember of sharing with him. And so again, 21 years has passed, and the pain is still there. And like you, many times, even to this day, I've asked God, take that pain away. But he told me the same thing that I've shared with many people, many families. He tells me, I'm not going to take the pain away. Even no matter how long it is, no matter how long it will be, I'm not going to take the pain away. And the reason why God does not take the pain away is because he knows that in his infinite wisdom, to take the pain away would be even more cruel. Because why? The only way he can take the pain away that many of us are feeling, the only way that pain will ever be gone, is if he erases the memories of those we love. And so that it would be as if, in my case, my father never existed, that my father never lived, and that I never had him as a father. And for any one of us here tonight, whoever it might be, if God takes that pain away, it is as if he's going to erase the memory of everyone we have lost. And it would be as if they never existed, that they were never a part of your lives, and you were never a part of theirs. And in God's infinite wisdom, he knows that would be even more cruel, that would cause even more pain, because he knows that he just cannot do that. And so what God does instead is he accompanies us in the pain, and he uses those memories that we have to remind us that death is not the end. He will remind us of those memories, good and bad, the times when we may have cried, the times when we may have been angry at those we love, the times even when we wanted to strangle them. God will intensify those memories, because in those memories he conveys a certain truth, that again, death does not destroy the connection that we have with those we love who are dead. In one of the prayers of the vigil services, it begins that all the ties of friendship and affection which knit us as one throughout our lives do not unravel with death. And so even in death, even in that pain, no matter how many years has passed, even in that pain, when we remember, God reminds us that death has not destroyed the connection that we have, that death has not taken away the relationship that we have with those we love. Death has not taken away the relationship that I had with my father. He's still my father, and just as much I am still his son. And the same is true for every one of us here tonight. Death does not separate us. Yes, we do feel pain. We do feel that emptiness. We still feel that sadness. But again, God is not going to take it away. Again, not because he's cruel, but because he knows that the only way to do it is to erase those memories, to take that person away from us. And in that, God will never do it. And so tonight, on this Feast of All Souls, we gather today to pray for those who are dead, those who have died, to remember that we are still connected with them, and they are still connected to us, because in God, everyone is alive. But we pray most especially for us who are left behind, because we are still on our way. We pray that we will be able to embrace the pain and know that God is in the pain, and that God is in those memories. And to embrace God, who will use those memories now to help us again remember that he, the Lord of life, wills that death does not destroy anything in us, not even the connection that we have with our loved ones. And so tonight we renew our faith in the Lord, who is God of all the living.